Wow, wow, wow. Congratulations for holding on to the concluding module of this training on wholesome sex education for children and adolescents. I hope you have been impacted through module 1, module 2, module 3, module 4, module 5 that we took a few time ago. I'm happy that God has helped you through this training. But it's very important that we consider this last module, because this last module is like telling you to get on the feed despite limitation. That is what this is going to be all about. We're talking about practical guides that will help you to smoothly and effectively get on the feed. At the end of this module, you should be able to set a smart goal for yourself. Yes. You should be able to make use of your social media pulpit. And then you should be able to know some of the materials that you will need when you want to start embarking on your outreaches. And finally, I will be encouraging you that in spite of limitations, excuses, and all whatnot, you need to get on the feed, because it is when you get to the feed that you are going to experience the joy of working for the Lord, the fulfillment of living an impactful life. It is when you get on the feed that you are going to experience. And all these things that you have learned will not really profit you that much if you don't get on the feed. Remember what the Bible says about Ezra. In the book of Ezra, the Bible says Ezra has made up his mind. One, to first of all read the law of the Lord. He made up, he said, I will read the law of the Lord. Number one. Then number two, he made up his mind that he will do. Did you see it? He will do. Then number three, he made up his mind he was going to teach. He will teach. You can see three things. He will read. Two, he will do. And number three, he will teach it. So through this training, you have learned it. You have the content. You have the content. Now, you have to start assimilating those contents so that they become useful for you. So when those contents become useful for you, and you now have what it takes to live a sexually pure life, it becomes easy for you to now teach it, because you will be able to give what you have, not what you don't have. Don't be like the Dead Sea. The Dead Sea is a terrible sea that is always receiving, but never gives out. And you know what? Despite all the things that the Dead Sea is receiving, it never gets full. Don't be like the Dead Sea. So make up your mind that every information you have learned through this training, through this certificate course, you will put them to practice. And God will help you to put them to practice in Jesus' name. So let's move on quickly to our module today, practical guides to getting on the feed. If you do not deliberately follow up with what you have learned in this training, you will just discover that you are still in one place. You must be intentional about taking steps to reach out to these children and young people. And don't stay in one place. Don't become obese with knowledge. Don't become obese with knowledge. Make use of the knowledge that you have gained so that you become spiritually fit. You become spiritually fit, and then your knowledge obesity does not benefit everyone, not even you. But when you reach out, when you give out from what you have, it will benefit you and it will benefit other people also. Now, the first thing we are going to talk about here is that you need to set a smart goal. A smart goal. I'm going to be using the word smart to bring home this section. Smart is spelled as SMART. You must set a smart goal for yourself. Now, S stands for specific. Let the goal you want to set, let it be specific, not diffuse. A diffuse or vague goals will never be reached because you won't know when you have even reached it. For example, we set a goal some time ago that we will be having monthly hangout with pre-teenagers and teenagers. That goal was specific. We say what we want to do, we will have it monthly, and we give it a title: hang out with pre-teenagers and teenagers. Specific goal. And how often we'll be doing it, we put it. Now, this takes me to letter M. That's number 2, letter M. Let your goal be measurable. Let it be measurable. It will help you to know when you have achieved your goal or when you are about to achieve it. And you need to put things in place that will serve as indicators or signs that you have achieved your goal or you are about to achieve your goal. And this one will depend on the goal you have set for yourself. For example, let's use this example. When you set a goal to reach 3 schools per month with sexual purity campaign, look at that goal. 3 schools per month with sexual purity campaign. You can see, what do you want to do? Sexual purity campaign. How many schools? 3 schools. How often? Every month. Do you see it? Very specific. And then it is measurable, because if by the middle of the month you have only been able to go to 1 school, something will remind you that there are 2 more schools you need to go, and you will see yourself automatically adjusting to ensure that before the end of that month you are able to go to the remaining 2 schools. That is number 2 letter. Now the next letter is letter A. Your goal should be achievable. Let it be something you can achieve. Don't set a goal that will put you under unnecessary pressure. Don't say, for instance, that you are going to visit 10 schools with sexual purity campaign every month. You know what that means? It means that every 3 days you are going to for school outreach. You will run yourself out. You will get tired and even frustrated along the way. You may even suffer from depression, because when you set a goal and you have difficulty achieving your goal, you have what we call a negative feedback that makes you to feel sad, unfulfilled about your goal. So let it be something that you can achieve no matter how small it is. In fact, it is better to set a small goal initially and achieve it, because no matter how small your goal is, when you achieve that goal, you get encouraged to do more. So, and don't try to say you want to compete with somebody. You don't need to compete with anybody. The only person you should compete with is your yesterday's performance. If you went to 1 school last month, tell yourself, okay, by God's grace, this month I'll go to 2 schools. If you went to 1 church last month, say, by God's grace, this month I'm going to two churches or 2 gatherings. That is how you will continue to compete with your performance of yesterday. And the next thing is that you are getting better at what you are doing. So let me go to letter R. Your goal should be relevant to you and to the people that will be involved in in what you want to do. So who are the people that you want to reach out to? Are they not students, children? So you ask yourself, this thing that I want to go and teach them, is it relevant to them? Yes. Sex education is relevant to every child. Every adolescent is relevant to them. So make sure it is relevant to them, because make sure it is relevant to you too. Let it be something that you are passionate about. Let it be something that you enjoy doing, because if you don't enjoy doing it, you will struggle while you are trying to achieve it. Now, also, if you go to schools and you are teaching them about things that they are not interested in, you will get tired, because those children will frustrate you. But when what you want to say coincides with what they want to hear or what they are interested in, you will feel relevant. Do you get? So, like I said in our earlier modules, if you want to teach the boys about sex education, don't stop them from their video games. Don't stop them from playing football. Rather, carry your sex education to go and meet them. In that area that caught their interest. Get involved in what interests them, and through that you'll be able to teach them what you need to teach them. Now let's go take the last letter, letter T. Your goal should be time bound. Your goal should be time bound. This helps to keep you in check when you put a time to it. So always put a time to your goal. Put a time to it. You will continue to procrastinate when you don't put a time to it. And procrastination is a thief of time. It will waste your time, it will thwart your thought, and it will throw you into mental illness. It will make you to forget what you want to do. And at the end, it will make you to live an unfulfilled life and you feel frustrated. So put a time to your goal. Now that you have set your SMART goal, what is the next thing you need to do? You need to outline the steps that you need to follow to achieve your goal. For instance, you ask yourself questions like, what are the things I need to do now? Which of the schools will I be visiting first? Who should I talk to when I go to those schools? Who should I meet? These are questions that you need to ask, and you should ask yourself also, when should I go for my first visit? Because you must go. So put the date in your diary when you have been able to answer those questions, and put it on your calendar so that your phone can remind you. You can also discuss your goal with someone like a mentor who can hold you accountable. Please, when setting your goal, this is very important. When setting your goals or you are making your plans, please do it prayerfully. See, this our training that we have just that you have been undertaking from module 1. While we were preparing the content, we were praying. Before we started preparing, we were praying. While we were preparing the content, we were praying upon it. While the content was ready, we soaked it with tears of brokenness before God. I say, oh God, if you don't lay hand on this work, it cannot touch any life. Lord, touch lives with this work, touch life with this our feeble effort. We did it prayerfully. This training was born out of a lot of prayer. So when you are setting your goal, please do it prayerfully, because if God does not help you, your goals, your vision, everything you have will die in your stomach. You're not able to achieve it. So ask God to breathe upon it and prepare the mind of all the people that will be involved in achieving your goal. Then, very important, finally, on setting your SMART goals, self-discipline, self-discipline, self-discipline. Finally, on setting your SMART goal, self-discipline is very important. Without self-discipline, nothing works. But with self-discipline, everything works. Without self-discipline, nothing works. But with self-discipline, everything works. So what is self-discipline? I have a customized definition of self-discipline that I got from one of the books I've read in the past. Self-discipline is my ability to do what I am supposed to do when or at the time when I'm supposed to do it, whether I feel like doing it or not. Did you get that? What am I supposed to do right now? I'm supposed to be teaching module 6 of Wholesome Sex Education. When am I supposed to be doing it? Now. Do I feel like doing it? Sincerely speaking, no, because as at this time I have a lot more other things to do. But because it has been on schedule that I must do it now, I am doing it. That is self-discipline. So if you do not do anything about the plans and the goal you have set for yourself, it will remain where it is, and you will remain also at one spot. No progress. When you try to start, remember that the possibility is there that you may not achieve success the first time. Don't be too hard on yourself. Try again. The most important thing is that you are doing something positive. Make your goal more smart, or make it smarter this time, and start again. Don't ever give up. The reason why you are hearing our voice in this training is because we did not give up during the period of our rejections. We have suffered rejections. Hey, we have failed many times. We have experienced frustration, but we did not give up. That is why you can come today to register for Wholesome Sex Education training and take this training at the comfort of your home. It is because we have not given up. So please, self-discipline is very important. Don't give up. Keep trying until you start seeing the impact you are making. Remember, you may not see the effect of what you are doing immediately, but it is cumulative. It aggregates. And when you start seeing the impact, you will be amazed at how much God has helped you. So I will go to the next section, which is about using your social media pulpit. See, you have a pulpit on social media. I'm not. I can't remember the recent statistics about Facebook. I think about 2.5 billion people are on Facebook as of 2022. 2.5 billion. What is the population of the world? Is it 2.5 or 4.5? I'm not so sure now. So, what is the population of the world? The population of the world is about 7.8 billion. Imagine the volume of people that are on Facebook. Do you know that there are more people on Facebook than in any religious gathering? More people on Facebook at every time t every point in time than you will find in any church building. So make sure you get on social media with a purpose. Don't just go on social media to be posting pictures, posting videos, or sending your reels on Instagrams and all of that. Go there with a purpose to preach the gospel, to propagate sex education, to teach wholesome sex education, to encourage young people to live a sexually pure life. So get there with a purpose and be intentional. Be intentional. Deliberately send friend requests to people. Send it to them. Send it to them. And when they accept your friend request, create time for them to communicate regularly with them, create them time to engage them, chat with them, and you will see how fulfilled and happy you are going to be. Imagine this training we are doing now, we are doing it online. Imagine on the worldwide web. That's where you are doing it, doing this training. So make use of your social media, make use of your Facebook, of your WhatsApp, of your Twitter, make use of your Instagram, and so on. Make use of all the platform that God has given you, because you have a calling. Your calling is to bring people to the Lord, to bring people to walk the way of righteousness. You have a mandate to reach out to everyone everywhere. So don't limit yourself to church building. Reach out to these young people on social media. Now let me talk about some of the materials that you will need when you want to go on your outreach. You may need a public address system. You may need a public address system if you have the means of them. You can save money to buy one, because it really help you, because there are some schools you will go to, they don't have public address system and they have very large crowd of students. So when you go to those schools, it will be difficult to be in control of that large congregation, because those people at the back will not be hearing your voice and they will end up distracting themselves. But when you have a public address system, your voice will go very wide and then you have better impact. Audio visual, it helps them to follow you when you are teaching them. Audio visual, like using a projector or using a computer screen that is very large. So those screens can help. If you have the means, please get them. And one thing that God has helped us in our own foundation is that whenever we are going to teach these children about sex education or sexual purity, we will prepare a very beautiful PowerPoint slides that will animate them very well, so that you can, because of this, go and learn how to prepare PowerPoint slide. You can learn it. Go on YouTube and type how to prepare PowerPoint slide. You will see a lot of training that you can take to learn how to do it. So you need them, but if you don't have the means, please make do with what you have. You can also cut cardboard. Another material that you will need are tracts, reading materials like tracts, leaflets, pamphlets, and books, and so on. Now, the reason why you need some of these materials is because, you see, when you are talking to these children, when you are talking to them during that time when their friends are there, they may not be paying attention. Some of them, because they are feeling big, they don't want their friends to know that they are listening to what you are saying, and because of that, they are not paying attention. But as you are going, those materials you left to them, those reading materials, they go on with it. And when they are now alone by themselves, they will now read it. And when they read it, they will be blessed. In fact, we have received testimony from several of them like that after reading it, they become transformed. God touched their heart and they are giving their life to Jesus Christ. They are making up their mind to stay sexually pure. So these are some of the things you may have to. You may be asking yourself, how do you get money to print the material? I remember, even as a student in the university, I had to, because it was something that I was passionate about. I want to help these children. I know that God wants me to do it. So because of that, I would deny myself of some necessities. I would cook by myself so that I would be able to save some money. When my parents send me pocket money or feeding money, my stipend, I will save from those money, and then I will use whatever I get from it to print these tracts. To print, I will sit down by myself and write the tracts. I will write the tracts, pray prayerfully, and at the end of the tract, I will put my phone number and my email address so that they can reach me when they finish reading it. I will print them. In fact, at a point, I think in my 400 level, I had to meet a carpenter to help me build some small boxes, and when he finished building it, I wrote on those boxes, kindly pick a tract, kindly pick a tract. So I positioned those boxes in strategic places on campus. So every morning after my quiet time, I will pray on those tracts, and then I will go and distribute those tracts into those boxes. Do you know, while I am in my own lecture hall doing my own work, God is using those tracts to be blessing life. By the time I come in the afternoon or in the evening, I will notice that all the boxes were already empty. People were picking the tracts, picking the tracts. So that was what I was doing till I graduated. And after I graduated, I kept doing it. Everywhere we go now with our sexual education, we distribute something for them. We deny ourselves. Now I use my salary. We use our salary to print it. We don't really have so much sponsor. We are praying that God will raise sponsor for us, that we can print those things massively and distribute them for free in all of those schools, because we need to do this. All these promoters of sexual immoralities, they are doing all of those things for free. So we need people who will rise up, join us, collaborate and partner with us to sponsor the production, the massive production of these materials that we have to teach sexual sanity, sexual purity in our schools, in our churches, and everywhere. So you need to prioritize, because this is kingdom work. This is kingdom business. If you make God's kingdom your priority, God himself will make you his own priority. So now that you have learned everything you have learned in this training, will you be like the people in the days of of Nehemiah? They said, let us arise and build. Let us arise and build. Because if you observe the wind, you will not sow. And if you consider the weather, you will not be able to reap. So we must rise up and get on the feet in spite of limitation, because limitations will always be there. Things that will discourage you will be there. Financial problem will stare at you, but you can start in spite of your limitations. Do you know there's a lot of fulfillment waiting for you on the field? Please, when are you going for your first outreach? If you have never gone before, and I want to ask, if you have gone before, when are you going for your next outreach? With this, we have come to the end of wholesome sex education for children and adolescents training. I hope you have been blessed. May the Lord be with you. May the Lord prosper this work in your hand in Jesus' name. After now, you will be able to take your end of training quiz, and then you will be able to download your certificate. Once again, congratulations. Permit me to clap for you. Congratulations. I'm so proud of you that you are able to participate in this training. God bless you once again. I'm your brother, Dr. John S. Balogun, the founder of CASRHA Foundation and the convener of this wholesome sex education training. Bye till we see again in another training. God bless you.